Hello everyone and welcome to a new show I'm trying out called 4x3, which is a review show where I talk about 4 things I liked and 3 things I didn't like about a game I played recently. And sometimes I'll assign a review score to it. I may not. It just depends on how I'm feeling about the game. I'm not going to be doing like a super in-depth thing where I give you the complete backstory to the game or, a full breakdown of the story. This is meant to be just kind of a quicker look at what I've been playing and whether or not I think you'll like it or not. I don't know. You're make your own decisions on stuff. So let's start off with the first thing I loved about Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I really enjoyed the skill tree. It wasn't overbearing and it offered different ways for Faith to fight back or move around the area, like using the mag rope, which is basically just the game's version of a grappling hook. You can swing with it, you can pull stuff. It's really useful. You get XP for pretty much everything you do in the game. Like, there are a lot of collectibles in this game. You'll be finding tons of just chips in random places, and those give you like 10 XP. It's very easy to fill out this skill tree, especially with how much you get from each mission. It's like 750 for the main missions. I didn't feel compelled to go do a bunch of the side missions, but you might. I really enjoyed how the game allowed you to just rip through the main story and still earn a bunch of XP. You didn't have to do the side quests. Another thing I really enjoyed was the game felt so familiar. It felt like stepping into a favorite pair of shoes and just like feeling comfortable and knowing what's ahead, I guess. The fighting in this game felt really fluid and surprisingly so. It felt like in the first game very awkward and clunky. Like, yeah, you could kick people, you could jump off the wall and kick people. I think you could pick up guns in the original. I can't remember. But in this one, you can't pick up any guns. And you are literally just punching and kicking and mixing that up as best you can. For the most part, that works. It felt like I was kind of dancing around the enemies at times and just able to beat them really quickly, aside from like the end boss fight, which I'll get to here in a little bit. The last thing I really loved was I largely enjoyed the characters and world in this game. The characters like Plastic made the game stand out to me a lot more than the characters in the previous Mirror's Edge. She was really enjoyable, and anytime she popped up on screen, it was just adorable, her interactions with Faith. Dogen was a really nice mixture of like menacing and also like a gray area morally of doing what's right, even though it pretty much has benefited him mostly. A lot of the characters in this game are really well put together. Moving on to things I disliked, I hated that the runner vision constantly turned off for what felt like no reason. I know in some of the missions, like, it's supposed to turn off, but it felt like it would just disconnect for some reason, and I couldn't ever figure out why. I also like that this showed why the runners saw red. It was kind of like a neurological thing that, like, they would just see the ghost and they'd be able to run through a door. It would highlight the best route, you know? I did feel like the game had some slight pacing issues, like when the mall blows up in the span of 2 minutes, it goes from Faith, lay low at Plastic's house, to Faith, get back to the headquarters, even though they're still looking for you. To tack on to that point, if I did fall off a building or die during dialogue, there was a good chance it wouldn't start over from where it left off, which would make it even more like difficult to kind of keep up with what was happening. I'm not counting this part, but it was really weird to me how Faith and her sister Kat, or I believe Isabel is her name in this one, like, they don't recognize each other immediately, but looking at them, they're borderline identical twins. Like, you can't. Oh, how would you not recognize somebody who looks almost exactly like you? Yeah, I don't know. That just really threw me off. But like, I'm glad that they caught on pretty quick. It was just a weird like trip up in the story. The thing that I disliked, I think, the most in this game, is the end boss fight. You just fight two of the most obnoxious enemies, and it just felt like all I did was I just jumped off something, kicked him in the face, and just repeated it until they were dead. And then it didn't really lead to something satisfying because a character dies off screen. I'm not going to spoil it. I know it's an 11-year-old, almost 11-year-old game at this point, but it's just, he just dies off screen and you're like, oh, okay, I guess. And then they kind of set things up for a sequel, and it never comes, obviously, because it's been 10 years and I don't see EA spending the time to invest in this game anymore. They've even shut down the multiplayer servers, so you can't go get the full achievement list, which is a bummer, but that's not what I was trying to do here. If I had to give this game a rating, I would probably give it a solid 7 red shoes out of 10. I don't think people get that. Like, on a rating scale of 1 to 10, 5 is supposed to be like average. It is very middle of the road, right? So if something's a 7, that's above average. It's pretty good. You should still spend your time to engage with it. It's like reading a book that might be reviewed at 3.5 out of 5. You might still like it. You might still really enjoy it. You should give it a shot. You don't have, not everything you engage with has to be a perfect 8, 9, or 10. You can play some crummier stuff. I'm not saying this is bad at all. You know, it has its problems. I've stated them. But it's still worth engaging with. Let me know what you thought of this new show and the new format down below. I'll be trying to shift things around as I get more familiar with recording this style. Drop a like, comment, all the fun YouTube stuff. And again, let me know what you thought of it down below. Tell me games you want to see reviewed in this format. It doesn't have to be older games. It could be some newer ones if I could swing it. Maybe I already have it. Maybe I've already played it. I don't know. I do have a list of games I'm going to be going through here. And I'm just going to kind of work through those until I come up with some other games or something else changes. So I will see you all in the next video. Be good people.
In the elevator. On my way down.
You make me proud, Faith. Well done.
What about me? I did all the work.
You too, Plastic.